Welcome back, and just by taking a look and talking more about this sixth convention of the Parliament meeting, tackling one of the important points as actually advised by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi regarding criminal law. And they were talking about how important it is and the significance of this, because definitely the Egyptian citizen also has to know his rights and has to know all about whenever it comes to an issue here, so he has to know all his rights and how to protect himself. So President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi actually directs to re-examine the criminal law draft, and this is very important as he has referred the draft criminal law back to the House of Representatives and for further examination, of course, or objections raised concerning several of its articles. Well, a draft of the criminal procedure law was received from the House of Representatives on the 26th of August 2025 with the request of its promulgation, and numerous appeals have since been submitted to the President of the Republic, urging reconsideration of certain provisions within the draft. And of course, we know that we are approaching the Parliament elections. The objected to articles relate to the considerations of governance and clarity and practically, which require the re-examination to achieve further guarantees for the sanctity of a person's home and the rights of the accused before investigation and also trial authorities. This also includes increasing alternatives of the pre-trial detention to limit its use, and also, let's say, removing many of the obstacles. It is the wording that could lead to multiple interpretations or problems during the practical application, and allowing adequate time also for the relevant ministries and authorities, so as just to implement the new mechanism and models of the draft law. This will ensure their application also with precision and ease, leading to the swift justice within the framework of the Constitution and the law. Well, to talk more about this, we have Dr. Hoda Rizkana, former PM. Well, hello.
Hello, morning.
Good morning, doctor.
How are you? Everything's fine?
Yes, so first of all, could you tell us more about the significance of this article in particular, talking about the criminal law draft and why it is important now?
Well, it deals with a big sector in our society. We have a youth generation, more than 65% of our population. So we are talking about future full of energy and full of young people. So you have to do the treatment, the proper treatment for them, and deal with the cases which will come up with this area of, fighting and struggling and everywhere. I mean, even countries struggle with each other. So you have to admit that we have to adjust a criminal law which cannot leak in any point and make a lot of hurt to the generation itself. And that's why we admire and we acknowledge our president, God bless him, and that he pay attention to this point and also send it back to to be reassessed. Because this is a criminal law which is very sensitive and very robust to the society itself. So we have to deal with a lot of conscience and a lot of wisdom. So that's why I can see that he is keen to return it back, to justify each point and makes no sure that any point will leak somewhere in any corner of the cases comes across the criminal court.
Well, Doctor, how far do you see the Egyptian leadership taking into consideration the balance between citizens' needs and the pressure or the regional pressure on them?
Or the reason what, excuse me?
The regional pressure or the regional conflicts taking place around.
Well, I can see that it's going to be crossing a lot of people here in Egypt because we have a big sector of young generation. And the young generation is coming up and they are growing with their problems. So we have to deal with the circumstances. Some people are not very happy with jobs, some are not very happy with their income. So there are ways, and we have also a refugee element. Foreign society comes to you and they make changes here in the manners of the people. And that's why we are having a risk factor coming through our area. We don't used to have these people here, and they come with their different culture. That's why we are asking our president to deal with this with a very, Egyptian heart. Because Egyptian heart has a lot of conscience and a lot of manners which is inherited in our blood. That's why he returned this law to reassess and re-justify it. And I can see that there is no way that we can deal with it lightly. Everything should be taken into consideration and into certain areas, and we have a judiciary system which is respectable, and I believe they will do their job. And also our people from the parliament, they're gonna be conscious and aware about certain areas. What concerns me actually, that this law can have victims or people who are committing suicide or mistakes or whatever, dealing with their problem in a very naive way. That's why we need to raise the conscience of the people about the law and the size of weakness and strength of this, and also help them to know ideas about a lot of teaching here should be on the conscious and the corner of the moral and ethical society in Egypt here. We have to raise our ethics again and to support it and deal with it in a very, very, we appreciate our history, we appreciate our people, and we have to appreciate our young generation. We take care of these people and also teach them and educate them. Even I may suggest a class in the schools to deal with the laws and bylaws which you have to be aware about. So nobody will be victimized or under these mistakes.
Dr. Huda Rizkana, when you talk about this law, how far can it affect the defendants? Because you were just talking about this, and also will it affect any of the court processes?
Well, I'm telling you that this is a big sector, and we have to consciously deal with it. And the point that the president himself took this action, that he felt the seriousness of this law. It's very serious, and it has to be studied very well, and that's why it won't be an everyday subject. No, it's very crucial, and also needs a special group of judiciary system for these cases. Youth generation and young generation, where we have to avoid mixing people who make mistakes in the age of 12 or 11 or 15 even with the adult people who will be in the same prison with them if they make the same mistake. We have to treat them both ways. That's why we need also to implement social and social people to deal with the cases by itself. Each time this case comes to court, it should be preceded by a social study and economic study for the victim itself and the case itself, so we can see what we can adjust for this young victim. If he mixes with the big ones, he will be a copy-paste of these criminals. Maybe he'll be victimized more than them. So that's why I salute and also support Mr. President in his view. We have to take care of our generation, and this law especially, even the adult people, they have a special way to treat them. That's why we want to rush, but we need to make it wisely and very, very, look also in our old Victorian doctrine history in the court. We have to see these cases thoroughly and adjust the cases one by one and to reapply according to these new circumstances here in Egypt.
Well, Dr. Hoda Rizkana, former parliament member, thank you very much for joining us. And with this, we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more coming up on Nile TV International.